Okay, everyone, I'm back. Hope you got some popcorn, some soda, and some candy. Or some iced tea if you're Maria Tortilla. Or coffee if you're Wendy with an I from Happiness and Sweet Tea. Let's continue on with part 3 of my Heidi reading. Now, where was I? Friedrich Yoshimitsu started to fall in love with Heidi, or Heidi in Japan, Nippon. And one particular morning, Heidi bought herself a pet lamb named Sven, as in named after one of the characters from Disney's Frozen, which itself was based on Hans Christian Andersen's The Ice Queen, but that's another story for another time. Meanwhile, in the other part of town, somewhere in the Chicago hood, Heidi's grandfather was still worrying about his granddaughter's safety. Poor Heidi. Still can't believe she's been taken away by that nasty Rottenmeier. There's gotta be a way to get her back. I don't care if I get sick or die or not, I'm still gonna get my granddaughter back. By studying some karate from Japan and taekwondo from South Korea. Meanwhile, in the sewers of Chicago, the rat and lizard gangs were hatching up an evil, sickening plot to get rid of Heidi. Yeah, see? You see, we still need some professional help. Did professional help? Did someone call? What do you know? We have raccoons as our guide. Raccoons? What are you talking about? Rats aren't technically related to raccoons. Oui, monsieur. Raccoons are nothing but trouble. Don't worry about a thing, sir. These raccoons are expert hunters. And raccoons usually come to these sewers to dunk their food. Isn't that right? Yeah, that's what I normally do. So you want me to get rid of Heidi for you. Easier said than done. Boss? A little technical issue, but Heidi is actually a bit taller than you. Yeah, I know that, but they still need my help to try and get rid of her. When it came to lunchtime in Heidi's new suburban home, Fräulein Rottenmeier actually had no problems with the little lamb living there, knowing that in some adaptations of the tale she was actually allergic to goats and lambs, but not in my take, because I had to somewhat fix it. Because Fräulein Rottenmeier, in my take, actually had no problem with goats and lambs. Well, with the little lamb that Heidi called Sven, based off one of the characters from Disney's Frozen, but that based on the Ice Queen, but that's another story for another time. And someone was knocking at the door. And it was actually Fräulein Rottenmeier's older sister, Fräulein Takehiro, portrayed by Julie Andrews. Oh, Fräulein Takehiro, what brings you here in this part of the city? Well, I've come to give the kids some Chinese takeout. Chinese takeout? Why didn't you say so, Fräulein Takehiro? Yep. Fräulein Takehiro actually brought them Chinese takeout. Especially with Heidi with General Tso's chicken and fried shrimp. Because that girl loves her meat just like yours truly. And her Korean friend Kim Song Lee was really chowing down on those chicken wings to go along with her kimchi. Well, one of the more spicier variations from South Korea. And Giuseppe Fontanella was eating a good amount of sushi from Japan. And Beatrice Garcia was eating some chicken teriyaki, also from Japan, with some Wiener Schnitzel from Germany. But it was technically Austria where the Wiener Schnitzel came from. But it became popular in other countries like Germany and Japan, with Japan basing the Wiener Schnitzel called the tonkatsu. Meanwhile, at Friedrich's pad, Friedrich was somewhat busy playing some Gran Turismo 4 while listening to some Gioacchino Rossini and Luigi Boccherini. But still, he just couldn't keep his mind off of Heidi, who resembles Sandra Lee from Semi-Homemade Cooking. Ma? Pa? You remember that little girl that I met the other day? Yeah. The little girl named Heidi? The one with the pink dress and long curly pink hair? You know, like Sakura from Naruto? I just can't help but be in love with that little cutie. The one who sounds like Sandra Lee. And I will do everything in my power to try and make her the one. So Friedrich Yoshimitsu went out on a huge adventure to find Heidi. At the same time, Heidi's grandfather was also searching for Heidi. You know, to try and save her from Fräulein Rottenmeier. And Friedrich Yoshimitsu and Heidi's grandfather actually met face to face. Excusez-moi, monsieur. Are you actually Heidi's grandfather? How'd you know that? Trust me, I recognize that voice from a good amount of old school Western classics and several Alfred Hitchcock films like Rear Window. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, because I've been watching that movie the other day. And Grace Kelly reminds me of my granddaughter, Heidi. Wait a minute. You're Heidi? I'm looking for the same exact Goyle. So why don't we just put our differences aside and actually team up to get to Heidi before the rats and lizards do, along with their raccoon backup. Sounds good to me. Meanwhile, underground in the Chicago sewers, the Rat Gang, the Lizard Gang, and the Raccoon Gang were scheming up some practical pranks to pull on Heidi. Like the slipping on a banana peel gag, which usually worked in cartoons, but not in real life. Yeah, the classic banana peel slipping gag always works like a charm.
Boss? You okay? You've been staring at the wall for the past couple minutes. Yeah, but boss, I thought you were in love with my aunt.
Monsieur, lizard little? Why not the whoopee cushion gag? That always works. Ah, yeah, that's good, mein Freund. Ja, ist das gut, meine Freunde. I tell ya, that whoopee cushion gag always works like a charm. Yeah, I actually agree with that gag. You know, when Heidi sits on the chair, the whoopee cushion explodes like a charm. Yeah, I always loved that gag. To pull on innocent people. So, we better get a move on before the others do. So the Rat Gangsters, the Lizard Gangstas, and the Raccoon Bounty Hunters were setting off on their trek to find Heidi. Which, of course, Friedrich Yoshimitsu and Heidi's grandfather were also on the search. Okay, that should be the end of part 3 of my Heidi reading. Stay tuned for part 4 as I continue the story. And I'll be right back after these messages, so stay tuned. And don't touch that dial.